And I had therapists say to me, well, just don't answer her calls. And then the police are showing up at my door because my mom's like, are you dead? Like, why are you not answering? So here's the first flawed premise. In order to combat burnout, you need better boundaries. Yes, people have heard this. You need better boundaries. And what we would say is, no, we would say actually change happens in the present moment. Can you speak about that?
The problem with boundaries is that we're on the other side of the boundary that we put up by ourselves usually, right?
Boundaries, we feel we need boundaries when we're feeling unsafe.
And we're usually feeling
unsafe when we're here.
When we're here, and we can protect the same thing that's always kept us stuck, we're going to always be stuck. So in the present moment, the reason that's really important is there's no predictor in that. If I'm okay in this present moment, if I can get to this place, that's all I have is this present moment. And it will, and some of you folks did this presence protocol and asked a question and you got an answer like that. That's awesome. Doesn't always happen, but you guys are obviously not familiar with this type of work. I can ask that question in that present moment and nothing needs to change external to me.
Right.
So then I don't need a boundary.
So then it's not, I'm never going to answer my mother's phone calls after 9 p.m. It's when the phone call comes, I come back into alignment and I ask, do I pick up this phone call? Right? So then it's moment to moment navigating our relationships rather than some rule that then I have to stick to. And that doesn't work in certain cultural contexts anyways.
And remember, I'm going to go a little bit on the spiritual side here, but this is a journey that we're learning in. So the thing that I'm pushing back against is the thing that's trying to teach me. So then the boundary is going to keep me right where I am, not move me forward. No growth.
The boundaries one was really challenging for me as a South Asian woman because the culturally and family dynamics perspectives, like,
didn't work.
It doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work. And I had therapists say to me, well, just don't answer her calls. And then the police are showing up at my door because my mom's like, are you dead? Like, why are you not answering? Right? So like, it just doesn't work in certain contexts to have these.
It doesn't work in any context. I'm just going to call it out.
Okay.
Right? Because the thing that's in my life is in my life because it needs to be there for me to learn and grow. So if I keep pushing the thing out of my life that's trying to help me to grow, I don't grow.
Right. And it doesn't mean we tolerate bad behavior
not at all.
Of those things. It's that I check in. I'm not guided by my limited state. I'm guided by my what's beyond that, beyond the social mammal.
I'll give you an example. I don't see clients outside of, now notice what I said, I don't see clients outside of the parameters of my day.
Except when you do.
Except when I do. Because I had a client the other day at 8:30 at night and I said yes. And my wife goes, oh, what are you doing that? And I get, because I got shown to do this one. That's it. So I didn't have to think about how tired I was or the energy I needed to do that because I was shown to do that. I'm going to have what I need to do that.
So that's the first one. Here's the next one. Now this is a sticky one.
All of the stuff we're talking about is kind of sticky.
Okay. So we are taught as therapists to compartmentalize, right? Work is over here. Life is over here. Your physical health and well-being is over here. Your mental health is over here. And keep those things. It's just not how we work as human beings. It's not the truth. This idea of like we're our own thing is just simply not true. We are, all of us, embedded in systems. So we cannot compartmentalize because in this system, I'm a wife and a mother and a colleague and a daughter and a granddaughter and a niece and an auntie, sometimes a friend, sometimes I'm a cook, sometimes I'm a maid. I'm not just one thing. And then if I have, depending on who's in my circle, I have to be several things to several people. Well, now it's just crazy making.
So do you remember when we started the different, we have some funny stories, but we have no time for all the funny stories, but I said to Saira, like,
you're going to wear some different hats.
I'm going to wear some different hats. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, right now I'm your therapist. And then I put my other hat on and I can be your friend. And then
And I was like, whoa,
Whoa, and I
two
said,
relationships, oh my gosh, ethical violations. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be in business together and all of these things, because I understood this piece.
And this is how traditional societies always functioned. We functioned in community. We're in community with each other, right? So that person who's your child's teacher is also going to show up at, now that I live in a small town, it's like, it's community. So I see my clients all the time, and we're interacting in different ways than I had to when I was living in a big city, because my client is also my daughter's art teacher or whatever, right? So we're living in community, and you can't do it. You can't do I refuse to engage with you outside of these parameters, because that's actually not how human societies were designed, to compartmentalize.
It can seem easier to do it the compartmentalized way. Mm-hmm. Again, it stops our personal growth.
Right? It's safer.
It stops our personal growth.
Yeah.
If those people are in your life, they're there to teach you something.
So the way that we avoid getting burnt out is we simply compartmentalize, and we're saying actually separation is an illusion.
Just like the group we created tonight. This group has an energy and a personality all its own, because all of you guys are in it.
So this is not the truth. We don't exist like this. We exist in a context. So then we can't really compartmentalize, even if we were trying to. This premise of self-care. I was doing a lot of things for my self-care. I was doing a lot of things for my self-care, exhausted by how much self-care I was engaging in. Right? So the premise is, the spiritual axiom is, there is a rhythm to being and doing. Sometimes we'll be doing. Sometimes it'll be activity and productivity, and sometimes it'll be rest. But only I know what's the moment calling for, and what's right for me in this moment.
Right.
Otherwise, we do what most of us do, which is we work, and then we either get sick or we go on holidays. And then even on holidays, sometimes we're still working in our minds, right? And that's just not a way to live. It's not sustainable for the long term in this profession. It's just not. So the question is, have you been challenged by your college colleagues, etc., for having that non-compartmentalization approach? I'd like to hear more about it. Well, the way I frame it is, I'm decolonizing my practice.
Yeah, I love that.
And colonialization requires experts and people getting service. And that's just not how traditional societies function. They function in a community model. So that's how I address it with my colleagues. And they don't let many of my white Western colleagues have a really hard time with it. Other colleagues of people of color, they kind of get it a little, because again, we live in communities, and I've been at my place of worship where 4 of my clients are actually leading a prayer that I'm participating in. How does that work? I'm the therapist, so I'm the therapist, but they're the client, but now they're the because we just can't. The hierarchy is a colonial practice. So
an idea that we come with, that hierarchy says that I have something
that you don't have,
and
that you need,
and I'm going to teach you this because you are broken. And we're saying, wait a minute, nobody's broken.
I don't have the solution of how to live a life that I'm going to teach you. That's a colonial mindset.
Right.
So people are like, yes, I love it. I'm so grateful for you to you for bringing this, for your vulnerability and transparency, and for encouraging us to acknowledge that there is an intelligent, interpersonal and transpersonal field in which we are all situated and to which we all have access. And that this need not be a taboo approach to therapy.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly.